All right, we're going to look at the best cyclers in Magic the Gathering. Not cycling mechanic, the cyclers. We're going to start off with Blasted Landscape, thanks to Little Deadfly. It's a land. It adds a colorless mana. But do you know what? Do you hate it when you draw too many lands in a game? Well, guess what? You're in luck, because this is a land you can exchange for a whole new fresh card. Pay 2 mana and draw a card. Fantastic. Great value. Good stuff in your colorless deck. Just put it straight into them Eldrazi's. Next up, we got Duke Firebird with Avian Oddity. By the way, I will accept not only cycling cards, but cards that are affected by cycling cards. All right, best cards that would work if you cycle something. So keep that in mind, because there's not like a billion actual cycling cards in the world. Okay, we have Avian Oddity is a 4 mana 2/4 bird. It's got flying. It also can cycle for 3 mana. When you cycle the Avian Oddity, however, put a flying counter on target creature you control. Sure. All right, so you have a creature, or randomly, if you need to give something flying. I guess if someone's attacking you with a flyer, you can all of a sudden, all right, I'm going to cycle my Avian Oddity. Put a flying counter on my creature. I'm going to surprise block you. You didn't see that coming. You thought I had a counter spell, didn't you? You thought I had a counter spell. All right, Benedict, you got to give me a card. You got to give me a card. I need at least one name. Remember, we're not looking at cycles. Lewis with Unearth. Oh my goodness. This card actually is good now. I have been trash talking Unearth for years, actually. When did this come out? It came out it came out in the first Modern Horizons set. I've been saying nothing but trash talk about Unearth. Black sorcery, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. For one reason or another, this ability was just bad. They never had anything good to go get with Unearth. It's basically, you might as well have just drawn a fresh creature. It's too much work to put things in the graveyard and then reanimate just like a dinky little thing for, 3 mana or less. And yeah, of course, worst case scenario, you can cash that baby in for cycling, but that's mostly what it did. It was an awful card. But these days, you can go get Psychic Frog. You can go get, what's it called? The new Oculus creature. And now it is a prime card, sees tier 1 play. Congratulations, Unearth. I now declare that you are actually good. Even I think it's good. Kagan with the first super chat of the day. Fractured Sanity. One of the most popular cards in Mill. Mill loves this card. For the 60 card formats. For you 99 card players, the price still doesn't look very good. Blue sorcery. Each opponent mills 14 cards, but you get to cycle it for 2 mana. And when you cycle the Fractured Sanity, each opponent mills 4 cards. It's like almost like a gut shot or something. You deal 1 damage. It's effectively like dealing 1 damage to your library. But you get to draw a card out of it, so you can draw into more cycle cards. We got Evan, Angel of the Ruins. It's legit. Angel. 7 mana. And it's an artifact. I guess you can, tinker it out or something. 5/7 flying. When Angel of the Ruins enters the battlefield, exile up to 2 target artifacts. Ooh, and or enchantments. So it's like... What is that card? It's a very expensive Reclamation Sage. Very, very, very chunky creature. But it's got the plane cycling, which I do like. I can respect a lot of these plane cycling cards because they help fix your mana, all right? You don't have to have so many lands in your deck. Have a few Angel of Ruins. So you help have more land drops in your deck to help reach your curve. And you know what? Late game, you have 7 mana. Angel of Ruins probably going to ruin your opponent. I like cards like this. Summer Mermaid's art. Joe Grant. It's a good cycling card if she counts. Technically, she gives stuff cycling. By what do you mean? Whenever you cycle a card? No, that's fine, yeah. Okay, 3 mana for a 3/2. Each historic card in your hand has cycling. Historic, that's like legendary, artifact, planeswalker. Did I get them all? I think that's all of them. I'm not really in touch with my historic stuff. Whenever you cycle a card, though, put a +1/+1 counter on your Joe Grant. And Doctor's Companion. You can have 2 commanders if the other is a doctor. What if they have a doctorate? Choking on my tea over here. Next up, we got J Hogue with Lorien Revealed. This, I mean, you could say danger. It's Ancestral Recall on, like, effectively a land. 5 mana, draw 3 cards. Now, that sounds like nothing, but here's the thing. It's an island cycler. It can count as a land drop in your deck. So you play your land turn 1, your opponent doesn't do anything. Island cycle this thing. Go get a land. Then late game, it's way better than, what was that card we started the show with? I don't remember. That stupid... Whatever, that wasteland that you could cycle. This is better. Because if you draw this thing, you're not going to cycle this into 1 card. You're going to cycle it into 3. Anyway, it's a absolute banger card. Next up, Toads with Astral Slide. 3 mana enchantment. Whenever a player cycles a card, you may exile target creature. Now, if you do, return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Ooh, basically a blank player's dream. You get value on your the creatures you have in play. You get value from your cards. I'd like the cycle, and the cycling is cheap. Cycling is mostly like 1 to 2 mana. So basically, you're exchanging your cycle for whatever ETB you have on the creature in play. Okay, next up we got Steve Cooper, Faith of the Devoted, and 2 donations. Good with all these cycle cards. Dono times 2 to chat. You got it. We got 3 mana enchantment. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you can pay 1. And if you do, each opponent loses 2 life, and you are going to gain 2 life. It's a little bit of value. I can imagine that this is sort of clunky. Like I've played vampire decks where it's like, okay, if a vampire I think dies, you can pay 1 and you can drain your opponent for 2 and you gain 2. But it's really mana intensive. So we're already paying mana to cycle, and then we got to pay more mana to like the drain and gain. But if you've got the mana, I mean, you got the Cabal coffers, you know, why not? Live large. Okay, we've got two donations. Okay, David wants to get a Triome here. Zagoth Triome. Enters the battlefield tapped. It's a Sultai land, and it also has cycling for 3. One of the, I think, if I remember correctly, people were not sure these were going to see play. I might have even been one of those people, because it's like, it's basically a dual land. And like the cycling is expensive, but if you top deck it, it's like terrible because it always comes into play tapped, and you at least want the option with the shock lands to have it into play untapped. Ended up being massive staples. Like these are banger cards. Supreme bangers. The Zagoth Triome. Remember, there's 1 for each wedge. Was it enemy wedge? Yeah, this is an enemy wedge. Black, not friends with... No, green, not friends with black or blue. Christopher B. Damn that T. Titanath Rex. Is there a dinosaur that cycles? It is a dinosaur beast. 9 mana for the 11/11 with trample. Cycling of 2 mana. Now, if you cycle the Titanath Rex, put a trample counter on target creature you control. That is a combat trick. Do you know what's even better trick? Finding 9 mana to actually hardcast this damn thing. Okay, next super chat we got from Lewis, the Shark Typhoon. This might end up being like one of the top 5 cards we see today. It's a 6 mana enchantment. 95% of the time, you're not actually hardcasting this. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's mana value. If this card is ever played against me, I always have to reread this ability because that never comes up. It's like, not never, but it's not often. That's not the default mode here. I wish they put that at the bottom. What does happen more often, it's got cycling for 2 mana and X. You can sink as much mana into this as you want. When you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. It's a Sharknado. And It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible playing against this thing. You're up against a blue player with like 4 or 5 mana up. You want to attack into something. Shark Typhoon. 3/3 flyer. Also got to draw a card. Yeah, these Earl Grey, no green tea. I'm a green tea person, and I'm like a old berries sort of herbal fruit tea person. I like the fruity teas. Anyway, yeah, Shark Typhoon's absolutely major. Yeah, the Sharknado. Sharknado comes for us all. Hexenort, pest control. This has cycling? I didn't know. Oh, it does! As if this card wasn't good enough already. A black and a white sorcery. Destroy all non-land permanents with mana value 1 or less. Get rid of them pests. Gotta kill them. That Ragavan is a pest. Scram, get out of here. Stop pilfering my... what is this? Oh, this is just out in the open over here. I thought they were in a pantry or something. Get out of my pantry, Ragavan. There's nothing for you in here. Nothing at all. And yeah, if nothing else, if there's nothing to destroy of mana value 1 or less, just cycle it anyway. John with the unpredictable cyclone. Unpredictable. Well, somebody predicted it, especially you since you're playing the card. 5 mana enchantment. If a cycling ability of another non-land card would cause you to draw a card. If a cycling ability of another non-land card would cause you to draw a card, instead exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a card that shares a card type with the cycled card. So basically, I cycle and then I'm looking. If it was a creature, we go look for a creature. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. Also cycling of 2. That's funny. We could unpredictable cyclone with our unpredictable cyclone in play. Maybe I can find an even better enchantment. Better not find... Or I can even unpredictable cyclone with an unpredictable cyclone in play to find another unpredictable cyclone, because we have to keep cycling until we hit hit a card that shares a card type with it, right? Okay, next up we got Shuck Creation, Street Wraith. A classic. Now, Street Wraith has many modes on it, all right? It's a 5 mana 3/4. It can cycle for paying 2 life. But here, it's got Swamp Walk. And it's 5 mana. It is secretly True Name Nemesis. If your opponent has a swamp. If you got Urborg in play, it's unblockable. But the cool thing is, like, at the 4 toughness, can't be killed by Bolt. Very hard to get rid of with Prismatic Ending. And also cannot be killed by Fatal Push. So, Street Wraith just randomly... You know, I sometimes shake my head. My opponent has 5 mana up. And then cycles the Street Wraith instead of actually playing it. Cycles it. Okay, next up, we've got... Oh, no! Okay, Jay, give me another card. You're up next. Okay, let's go to I'm going to go to Kagan's Super Chat, the Decree of Annihilation. I tried to keep track of the Super Chats that haven't been done yet. You swiped that one, Chuck. You swiped it. Big swiping. Okay, this is 10 mana. Sorcery. Remove all artifacts, creatures, lands, graveyards, and hands from the game. Also cycle for... So it basically wipes the board clean. We're spring cleaning. We're starting off new for the new year. That's what the Decree of Annihilation is all about. You have to Decree of Annihilation your past. When you cycle Decree of Annihilation, destroy all lands. That is a very expensive cycler. 7 mana. You can't wait 2 more mana. You'd rather... I would think you'd rather blow everything up, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, this is a fantastic card. J-Hogue, where are you? I want to say Jay is, like, very unlucky. Okay, let's get one from Evan. Timeless Dragon. Okay, I'm gonna get you, Jay. You're gonna get on the show, Jay. Okay, Timeless Dragon, 5 mana, 5/5, flying, plane cycling of 2. Discard this card, search your library for a Plains card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. And then, again, this very much like the other land cyclers. This card sees play in Legacy, all right? It's Legacy power level. It's not that hard to cast. 5 mana. It's a bit on the expensive side, but it's possible. But what's important is that you can go find your basic lands, which you need. You don't want to get hit by Wasteland. You don't want to get your Tundras. You want to go get your Plains. And as Eternalize. So even though you win on both routes. If you top deck it, it's a 5/5 dragon. If you don't top deck it, you can Plains cycle and then Eternalize it from the graveyard. You turn it into a 4/4 black zombie dragon, which is fantastic. So it's basically. It's like you didn't lose anything at all. It's like you're actually helping it, putting it into the graveyard. Okay, Jay is going to be on the show with the Architects of Will. Architects of Will. Very famously played in the Living End deck. 4 mana for a 3/3. When Architects of Will enter the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of target player's library, then put them back in any order. Pretty generally, when they get this thing in play or Living End it onto the battlefield, they'll manipulate their opponent's deck to make sure there's no way that no good way that they can deal with the board, at least long enough until they can close it out with a bunch of attacks. Okay. Furious Gamer, the Troll of... Oh, the Troll of Kazakh Doom. Oh, yeah, this is... Danger! It actually flipped Legacy on its head. 6 mana for a 6/5. Can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures, and Swamp Cycling. This card is insane because it's got Super Menace. How... You can't block this thing. It's very, very, very hard. And it's one of the best things that you can go get with Entomb. So you Entomb this into the graveyard, reanimate this. Again, it dodges most removal spells. Not all of them. Doesn't, like, at least Swords to Plowshares can hit this big bad boy, but you gain a lot of life off of that. You know, you're going to gain a whole good 6 life. That's a healthy amount of life. Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push. Nah. They don't care. Pyroblast, Relic Elemental Blast. No, they just completely dodge this. Troll of Kazakh Doom dodges all those cards. It's a really fantastic card. When are we doing a food show? Remind me in Discord. Yeah, we should do a food show. It's a great idea. Spectral Snatcher from Nightmare Incarnations. Spectral... What are we snatching? What is going on here? 6 mana for a 6/5 Spirit. It's got Ward to discard a card. That's it. And it's got Swamp Cycling. Hey, you still cycle for them swamps. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a spirit that doesn't fly. At the same time, I don't feel like it's fully attached to the ground. So why wouldn't it? I feel like there's some flavor fail thing going on over here. But nonetheless, it's effectively a free creature you can have while cycling for other cards. We got Daru, Abandoned Sarcophagus. 3 mana artifact. You may cast spells that have a cycling ability from your graveyard. You thought I cycled them away for good, did you? Well, not. Apparently, the graveyard is now my hand. If a card that has a cycling ability would be put into your graveyard from anywhere and it wasn't cycled, exile it instead. What does that mean? Can I cycle my cards over and over again? No, but cycling is ability. I can't cast those things. What do we have here? Yeah, this is for cards that cycle, not like cards in a cycle. David, Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Where is Vizier of Tumbling Sands? There we go. This goes in, you know, if someone from the future came back in the past and then bet money with me that Vizier of Tumbling Sands would be a tier 1 card. Literally see play in tournament winning decks, I would have lost everything. I would have lost all my money. My Nikachu's bank account would have been empty. I would have went all in. This is never seeing play. I was totally dead wrong. 3 mana, 1/3 human cleric. Untap another target permanent. Maybe I shouldn't go all in on an ability like this, but it's still really clunky. It's like 3 mana and cycle. I mean, here's the deal. It can cycle for 2 mana, and when you cycle the Vizier of Tumbling Sands, you untap target permanent. That doesn't sound like a lot, but this card combos really well with Lotus Field. So it sees a lot of play in Lotus Field decks as a means to get a huge boatload of mana, but if nothing else, spend 2 mana and get up on mana with your Lotus Field anyway. Imagine that was a gangster movie where, huh? Oh boy! Archfiend of Ifnir. The Archfiend of Ifnir. Oh my god, I hate this card. 5 mana for a 5/4 demon, flying. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponents control. This is like one of those win conditions in a cycling deck, and it just blows me away. I play very predominantly creature-based decks, and it's not like -1/-1 until end of turn. It's there permanently. You shrink, and you only get smaller until you die. You can cycle itself for 2 mana. Yeah, I'm very unhappy when the Archfiend of Ifnir hits the battlefield. On top of that, they can play Archfiend of Ifnir and at least cycle one thing to get some value before I actually deal with this thing. Oh, gangster movie with time travel where you get revenge on the time traveler who won the bet. If I can time travel, like, I feel like trying to get back on that bet is the least of my not concerns, but least of my interests. I can go back in time and win the lottery. Who cares? Islarf, Ash Barrens. Huge Pauper staple. Even in monocolor. Oh, really? Oh, maybe monocolor EDH is fine. Land, tapped for add a colorless. Basic land cycling of 1. I'm pretty sure this is a Pauper staple. This is common, right? Yeah, it's a common. So I'm pretty sure this is a Pauper staple. Or I can't remember. Is this the new one? This has been around for... I can't remember. There used to be... Tap, add... Oh, no. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of something completely different. I'm thinking of, like, a fetch land. I can't remember the fetch land, though. Anyway, Ash Barrens. Cool card. Get them basics. Basics, by the way, very powerful. Can't get hit by back to basics. Can't be affected by Harbinger of the Seas or Blood Moon. Ooh, we got Mr. DJ Longhair. Welcome back. Hey, brother. Been a minute. I trust all is well. Ooh, everything is great. I'm also posting on my main channel all over again. Hope everything is well with you, Mr. DJ Longhair. Hope you're keeping that hair long. So we're going to donate your super chat to... Let's give it to Bell. With Draneth Stinger. I use it in my Pauper Cycle Storm deck. Yeah, I mean, you could probably put the whole Pauper Cycle Storm deck on the show. This is a 2-mana 2/2. Whenever you cycle another card, Draneth Stinger deals 1 damage to each opponent. I'm actually not... I'm familiar that there is a Pauper Cycle combo deck in Pauper, which I find fascinating that you can have a combo deck in Pauper. Like, the power level... I mean, I'm not going to say the power level of Pauper is low, because they got some super outrageously powerful cards in that format. A lot of good commons in that format. But it is impressive that you can make a combo deck out of cycling. Super impressive. Anyone not get a card yet? Hold on, I think there are... Let's see. Maybe almost everyone got a card yet. We're on 2 cards. Who has not got 2 cards yet? Lessian with Homing Sliver. The slivers can cycle. The 2/2 for 3 mana. Each sliver card in each player's hand has Sliver Cycling 3. Sliver Cycling 3. Discard this card. Search your library for 8. Whoa! Oh, it's a tutor. Search your library for a sliver card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Then shuffle your library. Is this where the sliver, like, X cycle came from? I didn't know you could cycle for other things than, like, just cards. Straight up cards off the top of your deck. I was not familiar with it. Working as much as I can. We're trying to hit past 1,004. Oh, 1,420. We were 2 away. Thanksgiving YouTube called a bunch. Dang it, Bobby. All good. Yep, keep pushing along. Okay, we got Benjamin Berkeley. Apparently no card yet. Fluctuator. Fluctuating at 2 mana. Artifacts. Cycling abilities. You activate. Cost up to 2 less to activate. That is a deal. 60% off your homing sliver. Also, does that mean your cycling is free if it's 2 mana? You just play it for nothing? Just, okay, cycle, I cycle, I cycle, I cycle. That sounds insane. Cycling abilities you activate cost up to 2 less. Yeah, I think it's just free. Pacers fan forever says, does this include land cycling? Absolutely. Any cycling and anything that even resembles cycling is fine up to me. Still cast it when you cycle it. Ichor Slick. We'll look at this card, but I just want to say this card looks absolutely bonkers for a cycling deck. Now, I understand there's a lot of cycling cards that actually require actual mana other than generic mana. Mana of a color, but like anyway, it's Fluctuator. It's like 6. It's an old card too. This actually came from Urza Saga. Just recently got a reprint in Commander 2020. Okay, what was I looking at just a second ago? For Ginkgo over here, no card yet. Fluctuate. It's literally there. It's literally in front of us. For Ginkgo living in the past. Okay, let's look at Christopher B's second card. Ichor Slick. How slick are you trying to be here? Okay, 3 mana. Sorcery. Target creature gets a -3/-3 until end of turn. Cycling of the 2. And also Madness! Oh, we got 2 mechanics in one. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. And when you do, cast it for its Madness cost. It costs 3 mana up front, or you just have to get it discarded somehow, and you can still spend 4 mana and get some value out of it. I think it's okay. It's okay. Definitely okay. Bell, you're just late. We did Lorien Revealed. Yeah, it doesn't see just a lot of... It sees a lot of play in Pauper. Sees a lot of play in what? Modern, Legacy, Vintage, probably Commander. Lorien Revealed is an absolute banger. Does it hold... Is it a common? Wow! I thought it was uncommon this entire time. Wow! Wow! Okay, interesting. The more you know. It was part of a deck during Urza's block. Oh, the Fluctuator. The Fluctuator. Okay, let's look at Chris Bonehead's Tectonic Reformation. The 2-mana enchantment. Now, each land card in your hand now has cycling. I can't possibly flood out. Ha 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 ha! Well, I guess you can. You can just keep, like, drawing into more lands. But maybe that's the plan. That's what you were meant. That was what you were planning on doing the entire time. And you can also cycle it itself. I love these cards that help you cycle. Also have cycling themselves, because if you draw a second one, you may not need it anymore. It's completely pointless. Okay, we are going to look at more the best cycling of the cycle, if that meant anything to anyone. But we got to thank our sponsors, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic the Gathering cards. Just got myself some Consigned to Memories, some Yavimaya Coasts, because I love shopping at FusionGamingOnline.com. Also, Magic the Gathering Foundations. If you need new cards from there, or actually, it's the gift that keeps on giving. If you want to teach someone Magic the Gathering, you gotta set them up with the right foundation. Magic the Gathering Foundations. And if you purchase from FusionGamingOnline.com, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases, and it supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. If you play on Magic Online, to play all the favorite formats, whether it be Pauper, Vintage, Modern, Legacy, Commander, one-on-one Commander, rent the cards by playing with the whole card pool with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_X1A. Okay, time to Tectonic Reformation. This show. Pacers fan from the Troll of Khazad-dûm. I think we did that one, right? Troll of Khazad. Is it Khazad-dûm? Troll of, I think, Control of Khazad-dûm. Yeah. We did it already. Sorry about that, Pacers fan forever. Give me another card. I'll keep an eye out for you. Oh, there you go. No card yet. You are already informed that your super chat is going to hell. The Eagles of the North. No, this one I don't know. Did we do this one as well? No, we didn't do this one. There's a lot of plane cyclers we did with not this one. 6 mana for a 3/3 with flying. Now, when Eagles of the North enter the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 until and gain first strike until end of turn. And also plane cycling for a singular mana. It's a good value. I really like actually these cards, and I think they were set up properly that you cycle for lands, you don't miss your land drops, but then randomly late in the game, you got 6 mana. Okay, go play your Eagles of the North. Although this works best if you have like a bunch of other creatures. Kano. Are you excited for Pioneer Masters, says Gwendolyn. Not really, because it's probably not going to get me to move from Magic the Gathering Online. But I'm happy it exists. I am very happy. They printed all the cards I wanted printed. No card yet from Kano. Dismantling Wave. Where's the wave? I don't see the water. 3 mana sorcery. For each opponent, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment that player controls. That's insane! That's a 3-for-1. Why is the cycling so expensive? Cycling's supposed to be cheap. This one actually is more expensive. When you cycle Dismantling Wave, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. I thought the first mode was good. Now, mind you, it's a lot of mana, but when you get there, it's like, okay, blow up all your stuff. I draw a card. You didn't see that one now, did you? Anyone no card yet? We're now at like no 2 cards yet. Ooh, Miscalculation. I wish this card existed in even Modern. I wouldn't mind seeing this card, or Pioneer. I hope they reprint this card one day. 2 mana, counter target spell unless they pay 2, but it's got cycling of 2 mana. So like as a blue player, I play with a lot of these situational counter spells or these taxing counter spells. You know, Spell Pierce, for example. But Spell Pierce starts to really suck as the game goes longer and longer. I mean, it becomes worthless. So I really wish I could cycle away my counter spells when they are completely stone dead. Stone dead. Can that cycling ability be countered? Only by card. So these are abilities. So you can counter them, but only with cards that counter abilities, like Stifle, Nimble Obstructionist, Tishana's Tidebinder, stuff like that. So it can be done. It can be done. All right, we got Steve Cooper with another super chat. Thank you so much. The Flourishing Fox. It's a 1 mana 1/1. Whenever you cycle another card, put a +1/+1 counter on the Flourishing Fox. I got annihilated by this deck once. I was like, oh, there's a turn 1 Flourishing Fox. I'm like, oh my god, I'm dead. I cannot deal with like a big beefy this one creature. Yeah, they just cycled away. They cycled away into my. And I think they did other things. They cycled those cards that put a flying counter on the creature. And then it had evasion, and I just couldn't even deal with it at that point. We did Shark Typhoon already, Cirrus Hunter. What do we not have? Furious Gamer wants Gem Palm Incinerator. 3 mana 2/1, cycling of 2. When you cycle the Gem Palm Incinerator, you may have it deal X damage to target creature, where X is the number of goblins on the battlefield, sort of turning it into a Flame Tongue Kavu. Sort of a crappy. Only when you cycle it. It should have been also when you cycle it or it enters the battlefield. So, I mean, you have the bonus of it. I don't know. Maybe it entering the battlefield is too harsh. But I think just 2 mana kill a creature off, depending on how many goblins you have on the battlefield, is really not good enough. It could have been more powerful. I don't think they had to. Oh, it's an old card. Oh, I didn't realize how old it was. Okay, it's old. It's old. It's 85 years old. Damn it, it's in a nursing home. Okay, I take it back. I'm gonna pay my respects to Gem Palm Incinerator. Paces fan forever with the Decree of Pain. You're going to feel the pain at 8 mana. Destroy all the creatures. They can't be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature destroyed this way. Also for 5 mana, when you cycle the Decree of Pain, all creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. I think I think those abilities are incredibly strong. Just 5 mana, instant speed, potentially wipe the board. It's really not that much different from like a Meat Hook Massacre, in my opinion. We heard of the Decree of Pain. Lord Magicus wants the Decree of Justice. Where there is pain, there is justice. 4 mana, double X, sorcery. Create X 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying, but cycle it of 3. And if you cycle the Decree of Justice, you may pay X. And if you do, create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. So like, okay, so like the main mana cost is just too expensive. I mean, you got 4 4s. It reminds me of the miracle card. It's just so much more worth it to pay the cheaper one. Also, you draw a card off of it. This should be the primary way you play. I mean, it is probably the primary way you play this card. 3 mana, make a bunch of 1/1s, draw a card instead of this Decree of Justice. Like, what is a 6 mana for a 4/4? That's terrible. 6 mana for 3 1/1s and you draw a card at instant speed. I like it. Decree of Justice is mostly played to cycle. Oh, just cycle it at 3 mana? That'd be done. For Ginga, the Nimble. Of all Nimble Obstructionist. I thought that this card was going to be awesome. I was very hopeful for this card. And it's okay. It's okay, but it just didn't get there, unfortunately, to see like top tier tournament play. But it's still good. 3 mana 3/1, which is a good rate. It's got flash, it's got flying. So if nothing else, it's a pretty strong large creature. Now, when you cycle Nimble Obstructionist, counter target activated or triggered ability you don't control. So the idea of being 3 mana, you get to cash in and counter their trigger. Like you can hit their fetch lands. Boy, the look on their face, and they can't even try to counter it back. There's nothing they can do. Now, the problem is, I mean, it just basically got replaced by Tashanda's Tidebinder. Tashanda's Tidebinder is like everything this card wanted it to be, but better, because you actually get to keep the creature on the battlefield. But Nimble Obstructionist is still a really cool card. You can put in a wizard deck. You can put in a bird deck, I guess, but better in a wizard deck. Can we consider transmute and lump it in with stuff like artifact cycling, since those are more or less the same thing? If so, my card is Muddle the Mixture. So I said at the beginning of the show, it's cycling cards and things that are sort of like cycling cards. And you know what? I absolutely would accept this because it has a very cycling vibes to it. Blue instant, counter target instant or sorcery spell, transmute for 3 mana. You may discard this card, search your library for a card with the same mana value as this card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. I mean, it's like spell mana cost cycling. Or mana value cycling or something of that nature. Okay, this is... I'm just going to let you know in advance, Pacers fan forever, we did that one. But Generous Ent, we did not! Generous Ent. Very fantastic card. 6 mana for a 5/7 with reach. So it's enormous. Like, it hits the battlefield, and it has a presence. Don't screw with trees. That's what I'm saying. When Generous Ent enters the battlefield, you get a food token. That is the weirdest ability to come attached to it, but hey, it's not nothing. Especially when you're the aggro deck, you're trying to put a lot of pressure on your opponent. They stone block you with this Generous Ent, and they get the food token. You're like, well, screw it. I got to kill them right now, or they're really going to stabilize by next turn. And of course, it forest cycles, so you can use it to go get yourself a forest. How did we get so far and we didn't get Hollow One? Well, there is that psychology that no one wants to name the obvious cards at some point in the game or some point in the show. 5 mana 4/4. Now cost you less to cast this turn if you cycled or discarded this turn. Also a cycling of 2 yourself. So you cycle and cycle. Does Merfolk Looter count? No. This isn't cycle. You got, look, cycling is like you paid mana, the card got dumped in the graveyard, it got replaced by something, either a new card off the top of the deck or you found something in your deck. So anyway, yeah. So Hollow One, basically a 1 mana or 0 mana 4/4. It's not bad. Maybe it doesn't impress the Commander players. But you ask the Modern players, they got scared. They'd be scared of this card. Okay, Pacers fan forever, your card got sniped. I wouldn't even say it's sniped. I don't think you, I just don't, weren't you there? Didn't we just do Archfiend of Ifnir? We like, maybe we did, maybe it was right before the sponsor segment, but we're going to donate your card. Oh, you have another one? Gavi? The Nest Warden. Very colorful card. 5 mana for a 2/5. You can pay 0 rather than pay the cycling cost of the first card you cycle each turn, no matter what it is. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 red and white dinosaur cat creature tokens. Basically, the ultimate enabler for cycling. You want a payoff card? There it is. There's your payoff. Unfortunately, look, only the second card. They don't let us get greedy around here. I forget Hollow One even has cycling. Love the vintage dredge table. Oh yeah, sees play in vintage. Hollow One is broken. Because I guess they discard from Bazaar of Baghdad. Think so. Okay, who? Justin doesn't have a card yet. Ruthless Sniper. How ruthless? 1 black for a 1/2. It's a human archer. Wow, doesn't have reach. Flavor fail. Every archer has reach. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you can pay 1. And if you do, you put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Not bad. Not bad. And also, I will give it this. It's on curve. So you go turn 1, your Ruthless Sniper. Turn 2, start cycling things. Works perfectly. Ooh, Ryan with Step Through. I still am meaning to play this card. I haven't tested this card. 5 mana sorcery, return 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. That ability doesn't really matter. The real beef, the meat and potatoes of this is wizard cycling. You can pay 2 mana, discard this card, search your library for a wizard card, reveal it, and put it to your hand, then shuffle. And I mean, there are some interesting wizards in this game. Things like, there's Harbinger of the Seas is a wizard. So I've been actually meaning to play test this card. Didn't really get around to it, but it's got potential. It's got potential is all I have to say. Street Wraith been done? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we did that one. Lesthian wants 2 cards. Sojourner! Sojourner's Companion! Oh man, there's so many Sojourners. The Sojourner! I like pronouncing this card's name. Also, I like the picture. I also like that it's strictly better than... I can't remember what it is. Some card. It's the same thing as another card, but has artifact land cycling. 7 mana for a 4/4. Affinity for artifacts. It could cost nothing. The Sojourner. Artifact land cycling for 2 mana. Discard this card, search your library for an artifact land, reveal it, point to your hand. Is there anything even good to get with the artifact land cycling? I don't know if anyone uses this for that mode. It's just good for the top half. Oh, I don't think we did Curator of Mysteries. Okay, this is for the super chat that got eaten up by Pacers fan forever. 4 mana for a 4/4. It's got flying. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, you scry 1, or you can even cycle for 1 blue. But it's a decent creature by itself. But then, you know, you don't want to cycle for random cards off the top of your deck. You want to dig for the good stuff. So when you have it in play, as you keep cycling with your cycle strategy, you can scry 1. Look at the top card of your library, decide to keep it on top or put it on the bottom. We did Joe Grant. We've done the Fluctuator. Oh boy, wants the second card. The Gem Palm Polluter. I should do a survey, like, what's the best time for this show? Is it getting worse? Gem Palm Polluter is a 6 mana 4/3 zombie, cycling of black. When you cycle the Gem Palm Polluter, you may have target player lose 1 life for each zombie in play. Jim Pompluter. You may have target player lose 1 life for each zombie in play. Why is this card not registering? You cycle it. You may have target player lose 1 life. Oh, okay. So it's like a Gary, the Gray Merchant of Asphodel, except you don't gain life off of this thing. Yeah, but it only accounts for the zombie. Okay, it's not this. Someone out there sort of understands what I'm getting at here. You cycle this thing and you drain your opponent for a ton. Shuck Creation didn't get one. Yeah, Shuck stole one. Swiped it. The cops were called. Okay, Bell. Slice and dice. Humility, good wipe in pre-modern. Really? This sees pre-modern play? Slice and dice. 6 mana. Deals 4 damage to each creature. Oh, you mean with humility? Cycle it for 3 mana. When you cycle Slice and Dice, you may have it deal 1 damage to each creature. Oh, I see. Okay. You play humility, then you play the cycling. Pachoo, 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 pachoo. Everything gets hit for 1 mana. Search for Oracle? Oh, I think Ryan's behind. With the step 3, you mean search for Thassa's Oracle? You could do that too. I do that I used to do that in Commander. Stabilizer anti-cycle artifact. Oh, Gavin. Stabilizer. Players can't cycle. This is the best card against the best cycling cards. Why? Why are we doing this? And why is there a sliver in there? What does slivers have to do with cycling? Like almost nothing. Even on this show, we had 1 sliver card. And don't get me wrong. The art is cool. I have a feeling this had nothing. I wonder, is this one of those arts that was meant for something else? And they're like, the stabilizer art really sucks. Let's swap these arts because it looks better this way. Yeah, what a plot twist. This has gone from a show about cycling cards to destroying the cycling cards. The decree. I think we did Decree of Justice, right? You make me paranoid because you were here the entire show. Yeah, this was Lord Magicus's card. Make me paranoid. You went to the bathroom, didn't you? Kano. Okay, Teleria West. Yeah, I'm gonna count this. Transmute. It's like cycling. It's cycling for mana value. There's the battlefield. Tapped out of blue. Discard this card. Search your library for a card with convert mana cost 0. Reveal it. Put it in your hand. Then shuffle your library. Transmute only as a sorcery. The only difference between this and most cycling cards is that you have to do this at sorcery speed. It's the only big difference. Anti-sliver cycling, bro. Was it really necessary? There is only 1. I'm assuming there's only 1 sliver card that cycled and gave all the other slivers cycling. Really, MTG hate is brutal. Can't even cycle in peace. Exactly. But you know, it was more balanced back then. These days, it's like, okay, powerful cards, you can do whatever you want. And then we'll print an answer to them in like 3 years. But we're definitely not going to do it immediately. Yeah, I think we looked at the homing sliver. I think we looked at homing sliver. Yeah, that's what we saw. Like, that is the only sliver, I think, that's got to be it. They got to be the same thing. What other slivers are cycling here? What are you stabilizing here? There's only 1 cycle sliver, and it came out 4 years after stabilizing. Exactly. Oh, the flavor fail here. The flavor. Okay, Gloom wants something here. Disciple of Grace. Oh, it's the 2 mana. Pro black. 1/2. Cycling of 2/2. Unfortunately, to be honest, at this point of the show, the best is just going to be like whatever cycling cards are left. Not a flavor fail. It was the time travel set. Ooh, interesting. Trent Sims. The time traveling set went back in time to justify the flavor fail of that card. Christopher B with Mnemonic Sphere. That makes me wonder, all the flavor fails in the art, they just need a time traveling set to just justify all means. 2 mana artifacts. To pay 2. Sacrifice Mnemonic Sphere. Draw 2 cards. Also channeled for a blue. Discard Mnemonic Sphere. Draw a card. Yeah, that's basically a cycle. That is cycling. Bruce with Twisted Abomination. An abomination. 6 mana. Ooh, it's got Swamp Cycling, though, for a 5/3. And you can regenerate your Twisted Abomination. Be careful killing this thing. It can come back. Didn't we do Decree of Silence, too? You were there! Oh, no, we didn't do that one. Okay, that one we didn't do. A lot of decrees, I guess. Okay, 8 mana. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, counter that spell and put a depletion counter on the Decree of Silence. Now, if there are 3 or more depletion counters on it, we must sack it. Whenever you cycle Decree of Silence, you may counter target spell. So it's a very expensive counter spell. We can have it in play and just be countering things until no one's playing any more stuff into it. Or you can 6 mana counter spell. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty bad counter spell. It's not bad if you can get this in play. Are there like reanimators for enchantments? Like 2 mana return target enchantment from the graveyard to play? Does that exist? I'm only familiar with Replenish. Very true, Nikachu. Eggs are just cycling after you play the cards. Never realized I am an eggs fan. There you go. Decree of Annihilation is the best decree. I decree no one be playing their cards anymore. No cards anymore. Has Brand been done yet? Is there literally a card called Brand? Oh, there is. Red. Gain control of all permanents you own. You know what's interesting about this card? I think it's aged well. I have a feeling this card sucked back in the day. Like, completely worthless. But we are now living in a world where people are stealing your creatures and then goading them. And so on. So I think Brand actually has aged incredibly well. It was probably like a really... It's a rare, too. They even reprinted it on the list. No 2 cards yet? Are you serious? Didn't you, like, super chat twice? Lightning Rift. 2 mana enchantment. Whenever a player cycles a card, you may pay 1. And if you do, you're going to deal 2 damage to any target. Brand is also a win con in some donate decks. I don't know how that works. Back when the owner of the token was the owner of the effect made them, Brand was an interesting combo piece. Interesting. Pedgeman has arrived. We've done Decree of Pain, Shark Typhoon, nope. Stab Through, nope. Vizier of Tumbling Sands, nope. Street Wraith, nope. Dismantling Wave. Wow, that was a close one. You almost... Oh no, we did that one too! Good God. Yeah, we did all of these. Did we do Decree of Pain? Yeah, we did Decree of Pain. No, all failed. Yeah, we did all. We have done them all. Okay, David Sampson with the Vidalcan Ether Mage. Pedgeman, you gotta go. Just look up some trash card. Look up some trash. Oh, this also has Wizard Cycling. Flash. When Vidalcan Ether Mage comes into play, return target sliver to its owner's hand. That is narrow as hell. But it's got the Wizard Cycling. Discard this card, search your library for a wizard card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Another card to find that Thassa's Oracle for that mono blue combo deck. Ooh, Gavin Drake. How did we not get Censor in there? literally sees tons of Pioneer play. Not bad, really. So pretty often people are tapping out. You know, it's counter target spell unless you pay 1. We're always tapping out here. But late in the game, unlike just like miscalculation, you can exchange this for a fresh card. And it doesn't even cost you very much for a single blue. Yeah, I know. 6 suggestion failed at once. That's definitely a new record. Pretty sure we did Astral Slide. Sloth Mentality. Yeah, we did that one. Renewed Faith, staple, and Astral Slide. Renewed Faith. Why is that? Gain 6 life, cycling of 2 mana. When you cycle Renewed Faith, you may gain 2 life. Ooh, Ryan, the Dead Shot Minotaur. We did not do that one. Ooh, forgot about this guy. The 3/4 for 4 mana. Comes into play, deals 3 damage to target creature with flying. Also cycling for 1 mana. Used to be a huge staple in the Living End. What else do we not have? Bellic going for the 3rd card, but paying for it. Draneth Healer, another card in my Pauper deck. You could just put your whole Pauper deck on the show. Two mana for a 2/2. Now, whenever you cycle another card, you gain 1 life. That would frustrate me to no end. That you're just constantly cycling cards and gaining life. You don't even need to block anything, because you're just going to gain it back. And also in Pauper, I play fairies. I don't even attack for a whole lot. I'm attacking with random 1-power crap. It's funny. This is like a memory workout. Try to remember by name, then can't, then has to look at the picture to remember. Yes. I'm a visual learner. Well, also, like, the decrees, like, there's so many decrees. Decree this, decree that. Like, and also, there's, like, healer this and pain that. Like, I can't remember everything. I can't remember the exact combinations of names that we've gone through. Okay, next up. Okay, what do you want? Okay, 2 then. Homing Sliver, we've done that. Yadara, we've done that. Gem Palm Incinerator. I don't know. Gem Palm. Did we do that one? We did that one. Curated Mysteries. Shafit Minotaur, we did not. Okay, Shafit Minotaur. We didn't do that one. But the problem, here's a new problem. This doesn't exist. Oh, Shafit Monitor. The Shafit Monitor. All right, 6 mana. You got on the show. You did it. 6 mana, 6/5. Cycling of 4 mana. If you cycle Shafit Monitor, you may search your library for a basic land card or a desert card, put onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. This honestly is pretty underwhelming for a cycling card. But you're on the show. You got here. Okay, we got Footfall Crater and a donation to someone who has no card yet. Footfall Crater. The problem is, I don't know if anyone's here that hasn't got a card yet. Red Aura, Enchant Land. Enchanted Land has tap, target creature gains trample and haste until end of turn. And also cycles for 1. Is there literally anyone here who doesn't have a single card yet? Try to go back. Maybe Sloth Mentality hasn't got a card. Hedgeman got the card. Okay, Trent. No, Trent got a card. Crozen Tusker. Sloth Mentality. Okay, Crozen Tusker is good for mana fixing. 7 mana, 6/5, cycling for 3. But if you cycle Crozen Tusker, you may search your library for a basic land, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. These cards just feel so bad now after they came out with the Lord of the Rings cyclers, because it's like basic land. Like, this is still a basic land, and the other basic land cyclers are like 1 mana. It's like nothing. Okay, we got Trent with Slavering Branch Snapper. Crazy Limited Bomb. 6 mana for a 7/6. Oh, this is a limited bomb, huh? It's a lizard. Very strange hands. Strange hands though. It's like someone's in a lizard costume that's a little bit too big on them. Look, there's the zipper. The zipper is over there. Forest cycling for 2 mana. You can get any forest card though. You can even get Tropical Island. Bell says the last one. Well, the bank account ran out. Okay, we got Horror of the Broken Lands. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this card. 5 mana for a 4/4. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, Horror of the Broken Lands gets +2/+1 until end of turn. So this thing can basically kill you just by itself. When it attacks and you don't block, I mean, it might as well be super prowess as far as I'm concerned. What do we have? Justin didn't get two cards yet. Zenith Flare. Can I cycle the show for a Hidden Gems show? What is a Hidden Gems? Is that a cycle? Hidden Gems? Okay, 4 mana. Deals X damage to any target. You gain X life, where X is the number of cards with a cycling ability in your graveyard. So if you dump a bunch of cyclers in your graveyard, then I guess you have like a really big... You can blast someone for a ton of damage. All right, that's it. We are most certainly reaching the bottom of the barrel of the best cyclers in Magic the Gathering. I hope you liked today's show. I hope you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. And if you want to be part of the fun, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you to everyone who shows up every single day. People like Justin Gloom, we got Mats Islarf, Trent, Sloth Mentality, Toads, Benjamin, Steve Cooper, Kano, Ferginka, Old Boy, Little Dead Fly, Yeezus, John Ryan, Hexanort, and more. We got Spectral Maniac, David. Who else do we have here? Not one for the Timmies, justice for the... I don't know what you're talking about. You want some more Timmy cards on here? One day we'll do the worst cyclers. That will be even more funny because it'll end up showing good cyclers at some point. It feels like all cycling cards disappeared. Maybe we stepped into a different timeline with 200 plus banding cards. It's possible. You guys are the show. Thanks so much for making it what it is every single day. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep bringing up them coffees, and we'll keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.